What's going on, YouTube? Did you miss me? Yo, don't be like me. Y'all gotta be better than me. Alright, like I said, don't be like me, y'all. Y'all gotta be better than me. Now, before I get officially into the video, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you'll never miss anything. And if you haven't signed up for the Patreon yet, make sure you sign up to the Patreon, yo. You might find some gems over there, alright? But like I was saying, yo, don't be like me. Y'all gotta be better than me. Alright, I made some mistakes, you know, with my brands, and I'm just gonna confess to it right now. Alright. Now, when I first started, you know, Direction Choose Your Own Path, you know, I had wanted to go in the direction where, you know, I was making all these creative designs and, you know, expressing how I really felt about life via, you know, clothing, you know, because I was an artist per se, but I wanted to put, you know, my visions and my ideas on clothes now. All right, so I created that, and you know, I created every day, just like I do now, every day. But along the way, you know, I started feeling like, you know, I wanted more out of the brand. So I felt like I took it to the heart where I felt like I didn't want, you know, my customers or my supporters to get bored with the brand. You know, that's how I was thinking. I'm going to create all these designs and I want people to be fresh all the time with new stuff. You know, I'm just going to drop a limited amount of this version of this and that version of that. So this way, you know, it could be exclusive and, you know, only a certain amount of people could have this particular design and no one else could have it and all that good stuff. And what happened was, you know, I pretty much shot myself in the foot because there were a lot of designs that I came out with in the beginning that I sold out of, and people were still looking for them, the particular designs, and people, you know, still wanted them. But, you know, I was like, hey, I'm done with that design. I'm not doubling back to it. And it's funny I say that because to this day, a lot of people still ask me for some of my original designs that I really just don't make anymore. And, you know, that comes from my own personal ego. Excuse me, y'all, I gotta get these orders out. That comes from my own personal ego where, you know, I always, you know, want to be exclusive and fresh and always have on, you know, something new, because I don't like when in my heart and in my mind, you know, I never liked wearing the same things over and over and over again. And I just thought that's, you know, how everybody felt. But that's not the case. You know, people like what they like and they want what they want. So that's pretty much committing, you know, branding, you know, suicide. So I came up with, you know, my different brands. You guys know, if you've been following me for quite some time, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you know, just welcome. If you're new, welcome. Do your research, you know, and just, you know, go back to everything that I started. So, you know, I started outside of DCYOP, which was the focal point in the name of the actual company. You know, I started We Major, and I started pushing all that out with the, you know, the Chanel patches and t-shirts and hoodies and, you know, all that stuff I love, all that stuff that you guys love. And after that, you know, I went over to Mifrasi, you know, for my family, you know, everything that's, you know, dear to me, and everything that I believe in, and everything that I love. And from there, Unfamous, you know, just pretty much showing people that, you know, even though we're the average Joe Schmo, you know, we're still out here living and having good lives, even though we don't have all the glitz and glam and jewelry and big fancy cars and houses and so on and so forth. We out here, baby. You know, and then I went with, you know, the newly restricted. But I say all that to say this. That's a whole lot of brands, and that's a whole lot to keep up with, design wise. So, you know, I'm constantly always in my bag trying to create for We Major, trying to create for Mifrasi, trying to create for Unfamous, and trying to create for, you know, the newly restricted brand. But at the end of the day, customers want what they want. All right, the customers that like We Major, they might not like Mifrasi. The customers that like Mifrasi, they might not like Unfamous, and so on and so forth. You know how that goes. Just like any other brands, you know, the customers that, you know, people that like Nike don't like Reebok. People that like Reebok don't like Adidas. You guys know you know what I mean. So I say all that to say this: if you have a brand, or you starting your brand, because that's what this channel is for, and you got one logo, don't think because you got that one logo or that one design that you aren't, you know, doing enough. And people might want more out of you. People like what they like. If it's selling, if it's hitting, don't change a thing. Why would you change something, you know, that's pretty much working for you? You know what I'm saying? If it's working, run with it. You don't gotta be like me. You know, choose your own path. I always say that. You know, it's cliche, but yeah, choose your own path. Just because I'm doing what I'm doing, don't mean you gotta do the same damn thing. Alright? So, just go with what works for you and yours. Because I'm not even gonna front. It's hard. It's hard. I gotta get the shipping label on that. It's hard trying to stay creative for each and every one of these brands. And you know, some days I have more ambition for We Major. Some days I have more ambition with Mifrasi. Some days I want to work more on Unfamous. And then with the newly restricted, some days I just want to just focus on that because I'm in my bag right now. But that's why I say, like, if you have just one particular design and that's what's working for you and that's your main focus point, there's no other distractions outside of that. Ain't nothing wrong with rocking with that one specific design. All right, you could tweak it here and there with like colorways or what have you, but just focus on that one design, especially if it's selling, especially if it's hitting. Do not stray away, okay? Now, even though I am selling all of my brands, you know, I can't really complain about it, but it would be a lot less stress on me creatively, you know, if I just had one thing to focus on. All right, so excuse me, y'all. Let me get the shipping label made up for this, and we're gonna go inside. We're gonna go inside the lab and finish this conversation. Give your boy a minute. I mean, look at me. I'm wild bougie. I switched up on y'all for no reason, because I literally took, what, 30 steps from where I was just at? There was no reason for me to switch up like this. But that's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? I went from we major to restricted, but you know, maybe I be in my own way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? With all these different designs. All right, that doesn't have to be you. You don't have to do this. You know, especially if whatever, like I said, whatever you got, especially if it's already clicking. You know what I'm saying? Like, the easiest thing you can do is rock the baby to sleep. I'm telling you, that's the easiest thing you can do is rock the baby to sleep. And what I mean by that is just keep feeding people, feeding people, feeding people, feeding people, and feeding people the same thing over and over and over and over again, because that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, my own ego sometimes, gets in my way. But then again, I don't even know if it's ego. I don't know if I'm crazy, or I don't know if I just have that much drive. I don't know what it is, but I always need something new. If y'all feel the same way, I don't know, leave it in the comments. Holla at me. Tell me if you have this same issue. Tell me if let's talk about it. Tell me if you felt like tell me if you felt like you weren't doing enough. Or tell me if you feel like, just like me, you feel like you're doing too much and you all over the place. All right, let's dive in. Let's really talk about this. All right. But yeah, don't commit branding suicide that way. Especially if you new, especially if you just coming out. Don't come out with a million different designs and think you gotta boom, 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 boom to keep up with other, brands like myself. And I'm just a small brand, small, individual brands, or any of the big brands, you know what I'm saying? I looked at Bernard Arnold and I'm like, damn, this cat got like all these different brands. But homie is a billionaire. Okay, I'm not a billionaire. Those brands are already solidified. People like what they like, so they dive in, they're gonna spend their money with what they like. I feel like if, let's say I just took We Major, right? And I focused on like We Major for like maybe like a year or two. All right. I think it would bring me like more peace and like calm me down and like relax me a lot more, because I would just be focused on that one brand. Or if I just took Restricted and focused on Restricted for 1, 2, 3 years and just kept pushing that and pushing that and pushing that, I think it would calm me down. All right, because my creative bag is just like off the chain, and my brain just be like boop, 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 every day, and it's exhausting. All right, but y'all pretty much got the gist of what I'm trying to say. All right, so at the end of the day, stick to what works, lock in, and get to the bag. All right, now before this video is over, like I always say, you know what you got to do. And tap in with that Patreon too. And also, I'm gonna keep making these videos. My schedule, y'all. My schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. All right, by 4 p.m. I'll always drop something new on y'all. All right, so I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Until next time. Get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basically, pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.